yeah! Welcome to Pot of Thunder. It's the recognized symbol of excellence in rock and roll podcasting, brought to you by Blue Microphones. They look great. They sound even better. And guess who it is?
Here's my buddy Andy.
That's right. It's your buddy Andy, America's little brother. As always, joined by Gnarly Nick, the Garlic Dragon. Bam! Bam! There he is. A double tap. Big Nick energy. Welcome to the program, Nicholas.
Thank you.
And
reminds me, I Andy and I have been sending each other kind of back and forth terrible sitcom Halloween episodes on YouTube, and I watched the Emerald one not that long ago.
Oh, from his sitcom.
Yeah.
His short-lived sitcom.
I didn't even know he had a sitcom.
Yeah, around 2000 it said.
That's how big that guy got. Not only did he have a prime time, or whatever, not prime time, a network cooking show, cable, network, and network sitcom. Bam! That's how big it got. There was Bam Mania. It was kind of like that Gorky Park thing, but it was that Emerald thing.
It was even bigger.
It was. And Nick, when you came in, did you check the roof?
I just kind of gave it a quick fisheye as I was walking past it.
That's dangerous because it needs to be on tight.
Well, it's I'm in the mood to roll the dice this week and be frightened.
Okay. Well, it is Halloween week. What's today's date? 20-something?
20...
Whatever.
26?
26. Yeah, sounds
I'll
right.
go with that.
All right. This is the big week. And over there, you want him. We got him. The breakout star of the podcast medium, Chris L.
I think we need a gunslinger, somebody tough to tame this town. I think we need a gunslinger, there'll be justice all around.
Succumb to my power, my age, and my weight, in that order.
Were you ever any type of gunslinger for
I've
Halloween?
never fired a weapon in my life.
No, I mean for Halloween.
No.
Cowboy or whatever?
Cowboy of any sort?
No,
Policeman?
I recall being a skeleton one year.
Okay, that works.
I don't have much recollection of my Halloween costumes, except for that one. I think it was like a homemade thing. It was actually pretty good.
Do you remember what age?
I don't know.
Kid?
Yeah.
And were people succumbing to it already?
Not so much my age at that point, but not my weight, but definitely my power
There you
was evident to people early on.
That's good. That's good. Well, it's Halloween week on the program. We're excited. It's Andy's turn.
Oh my.
And
can I do a little, you know how they say the breaking the fourth wall, peek behind the curtain?
Sure.
Andy's promised big things to Chris and I.
I have.
Yeah, there's been some banter back and forth about this one.
And as we like to say, and it's true, right now the two people on the planet who don't know it are Chris and I.
That's right.
But big things have been promised by Andy.
I've been talking a lot of smack about my song. I fully embrace high fives, possibly a three-man embrace.
A chest bump in the air.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm a little leary of it.
Don't want to knock over the projector.
Yeah, we got a video set up here for this, which is actually pretty nicely done, I must say.
Yeah, I figured I'd go all out. We have a projector here projecting on the wall. There will be a video today.
Good. Exciting.
So,
I don't know how necessary it is.
No idea
is any of this really necessary?
Exactly.
The answer is no.
Nothing we're doing is necessary.
No. Nothing anybody is doing is necessary these days.
It feels that way, doesn't it? We are not essential, I guess.
This podcast is not essential?
I guess not. I don't know. We didn't stop. Maybe we were essential.
Maybe we were.
Hey, we can't go to Chicago anymore unless we're essential. That's the other.
Fine with me.
I haven't gone. I think I've gone maybe twice since March.
I've not gone
instead
at
of
all.
Every day or 5 days a week.
I went to the office the day after Memorial Day. I haven't been back in the city since, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
It's kind of how I'm feeling right now. But yeah, that's the hot new rule. You have to be essential, or you could be fined. Which how are they gonna? Whatever.
Look. It's logistically impossible to enforce any of the bullshit they're talking about.
Yeah.
They're just throwing it out there, hoping as many people as possible will comply on their own
Stay home.
recognizance, if you will.
Yeah.
In terms of actually enforcing it legally, logistically impossible.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it.
Yeah. Pure nonsense.
No matter how many times Fred Flintstone gets on the TV and runs his fat mouth about it, you know.
Well, that's every day of the week,
exactly.
too.
He started that up again. At least the motherfucker has decided to start his bullshit earlier so he doesn't spill into Jeopardy anymore.
Oh, that's good. What is he interrupting now? A Kelly Clarkson show or something?
Inside a dish.
He's got to give special consideration for Trebek and his health.
That's true.
Exactly.
Show
Don't
some
get in the way.
respect.
Yeah, you know, piss all over Deborah Norville if you have to, but leave Alex Trebek alone.
So,
That guy's the worst.
J.B. Pritzker.
His fucking ass is going to get voted out the next time. All these parents of high school athletes who are counting on their kids getting scholarships are all going up in smoke because he won't let them participate in sports.
Yeah.
They're all going to run his ass out of office next time. And with the inevitable property tax increases going on up there, it's a nightmare up there. I would be fine if I never stepped foot in the city limits of Chicago ever again.
Really?
I would be fine with it.
Wow.
I got nothing. There's nothing. I mean, obviously, if I was directed to return to the office, I would do it because I need my job. But other than that, like going out, recreating, restaurants, there's plenty of places. You don't have to go to the city for that shit.
You don't need it. What about concerts? Seen
I'm
enough?
too old for that shit.
Yeah.
Seriously. I'm certainly not going to go to a concert. We've talked about this before. I'm not going to a concert venue unless I got a seat, for one thing. So that rules out a lot of the hipper places up in the city.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't give a shit about any of that, man. I'm too old for that stuff.
Sporting events?
I'm beyond. Well, that's just like lighting money on fire. I mean, it's just not worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Especially with how good, we've probably talked about this 100 times, but how good it is at home now.
Well, yeah.
Versus what it used to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus, there are going to be plenty of people chomping at the bit to get back out there and do social things. I'm just not going to be one of them. I'm past that point in my life. I'm just not interested. And nobody wants me around anyway. Nobody wants a 54-year-old, not yet, but soon, 54-year-old guy anywhere near them at anything fun. Okay, it's just, you know, be one of those dickheads who shows up at fucking Riot Fest. It's like, go home, go to bed, get out of here. This is the kind of thing that people my age should be doing to put themselves out there. Put out something like this where people can consume it voluntarily.
Yeah.
But to have me run into them at like a fun social gathering, nobody wants that. I don't want it. They don't want it. So I'm not going to participate.
Well,
more people should step aside like that in the later years of their lives.
amazing self-awareness that you have.
It's true, though. Stay home and relax. Jeez, I'm not even going to go to my new catchphrase. That's a given.
Yeah.
Why would you want to go out in like huge crowds when you're in your 50s and beyond? Haven't you had enough of that?
I'm in my 30s and I'm feeling it.
Yeah. So I'm doing everybody a favor, most importantly myself, and I feel good about it.
Yeah. Nick, is there something over there?
There is.
There is something. Okay,
Yep.
good. Let's get this going.
Let's get the feel box out.
Let's get the feel box out.
Are we back to baked treats, or we got another ice cream dish?
It's not baked.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, well,
Playing games with the formula.
that's what we do here. Let's get this going, because I am so pumped about this week's song. I can't wait. Guaranteed.
All right.
High fives all around.
Got
And
the
I
box
think
here.
that's what's going to happen with the Halloween feel box.
Now I have to say there are two versions of this in here. The one looks.
versions of it.
I'm confident they both taste good. The one looks good. The other one does not look so good. So it's kind of
So one's more aesthetically pleasing, but they probably taste the same?
Yeah. Well, they don't taste the same, but I'm sure they both taste good.
Well, why wouldn't they taste the same?
Because there's two different versions.
Tweaked recipe?
A variation, yeah.
Like, for example, one has... Oh, go.
The one variation is just not visually as nice looking. Not visually pleasing.
So it's kind of like a circumcised versus uncircumcised.
I guess so,
penis.
yeah.
One is delightful to look at.
Exactly. The other one is just like,
one is hypnotizing.
Yeah.
The other one is disgusting. National Geographic.
It's actually offensive.
It's like, it's essentially what we're dealing with here.
Yeah, so it's kind of it's a work in progress. It's my first time doing this.
All right, are we announcing that first, or are we going with the song?
Do the feel box.
We'll get the feel box.
We'll get that out
Might
of
as
the way.
well, since everybody knows what the song is, except for me and Nick.
Let's
so
delay it a little bit more. All right, I'm going to stick my hand in. All right, this is okay. Here we go.
All right,
Prototype.
oh,
Wait a minute. It's a prototype.
Well, I'm going to try to make it again and do it
So
better looking.
This is like the demo version of this.
So as you can see, there's some
I see balls.
plenty of balls.
To go with Chris's theme.
6 balls in this room.
6 balls in the dish.
And
3 brown, 3 white. Also the same formula we have.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So
can't top that.
no. So these are pumpkin truffles.
Are we gonna roll the theme music even though it's not baked?
Yeah, we could.
You have to.
People are loving
just
it.
because
It's
he's playing
up.
games with the formula doesn't mean we should deprive the listeners of one of our favorite new production pieces.
Okay.
Come on.
All right, here we go.
Time for a baked treat. Baked treat.
Oh, indeed.
So we got they're pumpkin truffles. 3 of them are covered in just chocolate, and the other 3 that are not quite so good looking is orange food coloring added to like a white chocolate sort of a coating.
Okay.
Truffles. How
Truffles.
are they cooked, so to speak, if they're not baked?
They're not cooked, actually.
They're not cooked.
Not cooked. They're
Are they
just
melted and then
it's
just like melted chocolate,
stuff put
right?
together and then refrigerated.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
Okay.
no bake, as they say.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
So, yeah, and I wanted to also, because it's next week's November, leading up to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Just want to let you guys know that there might be a little bit of pumpkin annihilation coming your way.
Pumpkin annihilation.
That's what's happening starting today.
Okay.
Pumpkin annihilation in 3, 2, 1.
There you
no
go.
idea what that is.
That's what's happening.
Wow.
So you guys feel free.
Shooting pumpkins with
Urban
semi-automatic.
Chaos making a comeback.
Was the pumpkin coming to life and causing trouble, or was that? That's the way I interpreted it. Like as a monster of sorts.
Something got dropped.
That's also what's
from
happening.
above. Yeah.
That's also what's happening with the signs being stolen from people's yards around here. More urban chaos.
Yeah.
Pumpkins being smashed, signs being stolen, houses being egged.
Really?
I don't know. I'm exaggerating. Chaos all around us. Urban chaos. All right. So, I'm so excited. So let me tell you this much, guys. I'm sure, I'm going to guess Chris didn't spend a ton of time thinking about his choice. If I remember correctly, you said it kind of just came to you.
It did.
And
I
then-
mean, I spent some time trying to come up with what I was going to do, but when the choice came to me, it was immediate. There was no second guessing at that point.
Okay. Nick, did you spend a lot of time thinking about it? It just kind of came to you.
Mine was like very, very short time of introspection.
Okay. Well, I will say I probably had 3 or 4 songs that I thought would work, and I was excited about 1 or 2. I had my choice made. Then last week I deferred to Nick. Boy, am I glad I did that, because after that, randomly, I was talking to my wife about something, and she mentioned this artist, and it just popped into my head, this song that we will be listening to shortly and watching the video for. And I thought, oh my God, I forgot about this song for years, and it would be perfect for this month. So
I have no clue what this would be.
I'm pumped.
I'm expecting an absolute surprise here.
I hope it is. All right. Well, I can't see because the font shrunk because I plugged in a projector. We all know that problem. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Without any further ado, it's time to turn the microphone over to Chris Jericho.
All right, Howell. This one's called
Monster.
Off of
Fred Schneider and the Shake Society.
by the band.
Fred Schneider.
Okay, I'm good with this.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Nick, familiar?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
I've never heard this song, but
My-
I'm a huge Fred Schneider admirer. No question.
Great.
This is a song that it's been a while, but my wife and I will,
Okay.
whatever, randomly sing it at each other.
Excellent. Well, I'm excited about it. I didn't know there was a music video.
I seem to recall there being one. I might have seen part of it, but it's not. Nothing's really popping into my head. But this is the 80s, right?
It's 1984.
Okay.
Okay.
It's between a couple of B-52's albums. This is the first Fred Schneider solo album.
And what's the name of the album?
Fred Schneider and the Shake Society.
The Shake Society.
I like that name,
Yeah.
by the way.
By the artist Fred Schneider.
Fred Schneider has made no mistakes in his career, as far as I can tell.
I agree with
And
you.
the name of his, I guess, assume that's the name of his band for
I
this
guess so. Yeah.
album.
I looked at the personnel. It's like 25 people.
Yeah.
It's just like a bunch of collaborators coming in and out. Like guitars on tracks 1, 6, and 5.
It's kind of like the Gene Simmons solo album, but he actually got people to participate.
Yeah.
People returned his calls.
Did he now? I know a little bit about Fred Schneider, but not a whole lot. Do you happen to know? Is he a songwriter per se, or is he just?
No, he's a songwriter.
Yeah. Okay. Because I had never really, dug that deeply into any behind the scenes stuff having to do with him or the B-52s. The only thing that comes to mind, and I always it stuck out in my head, that allegedly at the time of John Lennon's death, his favorite album was the first B-52s album. I remember reading that somewhere, allegedly that was the case.
Who said that?
John Lennon, apparently, that his favorite album around the time, right before he died, was the first B-52s album.
Man had good taste, I guess.
Might just be
I'll give him a little credit for that. Certainly better taste in music than it withered. Sorry.
that was a Mr. Roper.
It was. I lost it.
Chris smiled at us.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was great.
I lost it early, but I had to finish it out.
All right, so this album came out in 84, and then for whatever reason, it was re-released and pushed again in 91.
Well, probably to capitalize on the
Love Shack,
Cosmic Thing album, I
yeah.
believe, which was like 89?
I think it was 89. Yeah.
That was a big one, and toward the tail end of my college career.
Okay.
It's like REM and a big B-52s revival was happening.
Aren't
around
both
that time.
from Athens, Georgia?
I think you're right.
I think
you're right.
Interesting. All right. Well, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready.
This is the opening track off of his solo
well,
album.
it's got to be good.
Yeah.
Fred Schneider doesn't enter a room without purpose and authority. So yeah, that and the name of this track is Monster.
Monster.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna guess Chris may have heard it once it gets going. I think most people have heard this one, right?
Could be.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I know I was reading something about it. It said that the video was banned from MTV.
God.
But it was available other places, apparently. I don't know. But
Where?
I don't know. Yeah, right? I don't know who else played videos, but...
You buy it on VHS back then for about $49.99
yeah,
probably.
Exactly. But banned from MTV. And when you see it, you'll be like, what? I don't know what's banned.
A lot of things were banned from MTV.
Well, they
apparently.
banned... how's this for a different climate? They banned the Van Halen video for Pretty Woman because the woman turned out to be a man at the end.
Right.
I don't
It's like
think
they
I've ever
banned
seen
that video because it depicted a transvestite or a transsexual or something. Mm-hmm. Your shit would get shut down if you did that nowadays.
Right.
And what a stupid reason to ban it.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. So I'm expecting
I mean,
nothing offensive.
Actually,
What
if
would
that
it-
is the criteria, then this matches.
But honestly, what would MTV what would they have had? How much material if transvesticism wasn't okay with playing it?
I don't know. Why was there...
Well, I mean,
You
just
think there's a lot?
androgyny, I don't know, transvestism, isticism, whatever it's called. I mean, that was all over.
Well, Boy George. I mean,
Steven Tyler was dude looks like a lady
who
video.
the fuck knows? That stuff was all so arbitrary.
I was going to say...
ridiculous.
That's all over the place.
So
on MTV.
so stupid. So I'm expecting. Do we know why it was banned, or are we
No.
just going to speculate?
I think we'll just speculate,
'Cause I've certainly never seen this video, not to my recollection.
Okay. I was going to say the MTV thing was probably just like the Playboy legal with you, where you said,
Yeah.
is that not allowed? And the guy said, I just don't like
Right.
it. Yeah, so the guy calling the shots didn't like it. That's
Exactly.
probably what it was.
Yeah, and that's really all there is. But nowadays, even if you don't like it, and it comes to light that you banned it for that reason, your shit is
toast.
canceled.
Yeah.
You're out.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably rightfully so. I mean, it's so stupid, just the criteria there. So I'm expecting to see nothing offensive here. Then again, it is 40 years later, but still, it's banning Fred Schneider. Just the concept of that is completely foreign to anybody with half a brain.
Yeah. You should only welcome Fred Schneider.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Fred Schneider only makes things better. Everybody knows it.
I agree.
Banning Fred Schneider. Does not
to your own
doesn't
detriment.
compute. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Right.
and before I always forget what it's called. I'm trying. Sprechersang. I don't know. I probably didn't say that right. That's his style of vocal.
Oh, I thought that was that root beer you bring with you sometimes.
I got it. Yeah, the Menards.
That's the style. That his vocal style has a German name.
Yeah, I didn't know this.
Sprechgesang or sang.
Since
I don't
when
know.
has that been a thing?
Is that
I
like
never
talk
knew about
song, talk singing?
It's basically reciting poetry over music, I guess. This is a quick thing I'm looking at right now, but I knew that there was a name for it. I could never remember.
Okay.
That
almost sounds like it'd be a beatnik thing, but that's not. I don't think of Fred Schneider and beatnik,
but it kind of makes sense though. It could have come from it.
But I get it.
Oh, but when you mention Fred Schneider and Beatnik, I naturally think of Dead Beat Club. You know, I think the video depicted some sort of like beatnik scene, and then of
That
course
makes
you have
sense.
Fred Schneider, Dead Beat Club, Dead Beat Club. You know, he's the quintessential guy who you call him a front man. You don't call him a singer, because I don't think he ever sang a note in his life.
Right.
And
Well,
I'm perfectly fine with it.
And if you, I mean, there was an album that he had in the '90s just called Fred.
Right.
Wasn't it just Fred?
I think it's just Fred.
But it's called Just Fred.
I thought it was called Fred. I don't know. Could be wrong, but anyway, there's
It's called Just Fred.
Yeah, well,
Andy
big
wins.
man with the phone over there. And he did what's the lime in the coconut? You know, and if you the beginning of that, if you want to hear perfectly wrong notes, just listen to the first line of his version of that.
Okay,
it's not off-putting, but he's not. But like Chris said, never sang a note probably ever.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's-
I'm a big Fred fan. People might not expect that.
Fred fan.
I mean, Rock Lobster at high school dances.
That's a great song.
Every time you showed up, if the DJ didn't play it, he was attacked, beaten, dragged out.
I hope
But
it's still that way.
I don't think that ever came to that because the DJ always played it, and the whole down thing in the middle twice. That was the best, man. If you hear that and you're not instantly a Fred Schneider / B-52s fan, there's something not right with you.
I remember Hot Pants Explosion was somewhat it got some play.
The title and just their whole vibe. These people were hedonists.
Yeah,
how do you not admire that?
They were getting it done back then.
When people bash me for liking Pitbull, at the end of the day, the man is a hedonist. How do you not get on board with that?
That's all you want in your music.
It should be all you want, period. So, everything else is ancillary to that. And, if someone is that at their core, that is an individual that is to be admired.
Agreed. And I think we will be admiring this in one moment after this quick commercial break. Nick, what'd you think? You like that?
Yeah, can you do it again?
No.
Oh.
Maybe later,
right.
after the song.
Who knew there was a company that makes exploding hot pants? And how do you not buy a pair immediately? Don't ask me.
And they will rush ship them to you
They
before
will.
Halloween.
Yes.
Just in time. All right, guys, here we go.
So, just listening to the guitar at this point.
Yeah.
Got that big trill opening it up. And you just wonder... Because I'm wondering about Fred Schneider as a songwriter. What was his, what would he come in with? We need a trill, and we need to kind of like fade in and fade out a little bit. Or was that just, you had the musicians there...
And they did it in
What
the
do you
studio?
got? Yeah. I mean, we probably won't get an answer to that, obviously, but it's just, I just wonder about it. And then you've got now just straight up keyboard. Pretty much everything I think is a drum machine keyboard kind of a thing at this point, right? Except for the guitar, which has a very kind of odd, like in the background kind of a sound.
I think you'll enjoy
Very
the tone
fuzzy.
coming in here. There's a little guitar playing up front before the vocals kick in.
There's a monster in my pants, and it does a nasty dance.
Okay, I've definitely heard this. Yes. Yeah.
There it goes.
I didn't make the connection here. Then we've got a phallus on the screen with a fedora like the one Fred was wearing.
And he's just dancing around like, it looks like a living room, making sure everybody's asleep.
Yeah.
So he's kind of dancing when everybody else is out.
That's one way to make sure people stay asleep. Start dancing around them.
And
Not tiptoeing around, just start dancing around like a jackass. That's what Fred's doing here.
And he has little heeled boots, too. I'm sure that's
Yeah,
not
he's got
a
like
quiet pair of shoes.
No, that's true.
No, they're not.
Those are wood heels, probably. He's now. I know we're obviously we don't do too much video description, or we shouldn't, but I just wanted to point out that about 84 looks like something, a lot of claymation that looks like a Pee-wee's Playhouse.
It does, right?
Kind of a thing. Gumby, Pee-wee's Playhouse kind of a thing, and Sledgehammer was a year or two after that. So we've got a lot of claymation stuff going on with the old videos.
Yeah, I'm thinking also the Green Jelly video.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, that was one too.
When it moves in and out, everybody starts to shout.
Monster! Oh! Monster! Oh! Get out of here!
Now, is that Kate Pearson
Yes.
in the video? See, here's the thing, and I had this assumption going in before I remembered that I knew this song. I don't get when artists do a quote-unquote solo album that A, includes members of their regular band, and B, sounds almost exactly like the regular band.
Yeah,
What's the point?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it a way to circumvent a record contract or something? I mean, it seems to me that if you're doing a solo excursion, that to get out of the confines of the band you're in, you're trying to work with other musicians and go down a different path musically. But that doesn't always seem to be the case, and I've never understood that.
Unless it's a situation where you've got a bunch of songs that you've worked on that never made it onto the main group's album.
Yeah,
and we're not for one reason or another, the songs were not ever going to be on there, and you wanted to get them out, and you figure, well,
that could be.
I'm the only one who's really pushing for these. It should just be under my name then.
It could be. Kate Pearson's on 4 of the 9 songs on this album.
What about the blonde? What's her name?
She's not on any. She's
Cindy
Wilson.
Okay,
they both can sing like crazy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then is it Ricky Wilson? Right? Is the guitar guy?
So yeah,
was the guitar guy, but he's on this He's on one song, not this one. So there you go.
Who was that? Steve Lukather who's playing on this one? Who'd they get in for this track?
He could have been.
It could have been.
You never know.
Tom Beckerman, whoever that is.
Okay.
No, he has no Wikipedia entry, but Tom Beckerman playing guitar.
Okay.
On 5 songs on this album. So probably some hired gun studio guy. I don't know, or a friend, whatever. It's working. What a phenomenal! We shouldn't talk about the video too much, but I'm going to make a GIF of that and use it probably every day.
Of him leaving,
Fred Schneider leaving after Kate Pearson said, "Get out of here, monster!" The best, like a "Can you believe this?" reaction.
Yeah, that is kind of what it looks like.
That's professional acting by Fred Schneider. Let's watch this one more time.
Get out of here, monster!
There's a little "come on,"
yeah,
and he's leaving the room.
Well, I don't know. He had his monster out apparently.
We've all been there.
You got thrown out of the room for it.
It's happened to every man.
I probably would guess that's true. Yes.
Yeah.
Because there's it's that roll of the dice. Should I get my dick out? And there are times when you make the wrong decision.
Yeah, you misread the room.
But the wrong decision is always that it's out. It's never that it's not out. That's never the wrong decision.
Right, that you resisted getting it out. You're never going to pay the price for that, really. Of course, the likes of Weinstein and et al. Took it to a whole, Louis C.K. and that crew.
Yeah,
took it to a whole nother.
They ruined it for everybody.
They did.
Yeah,
way to go.
See, this is just more.
But this was back in the day when you could ban videos for transvestitism. You could get your dick out. and not just be completely eradicated from society. Be just, sorry, I fucked up. I shouldn't have done that.
Not even. It was just, come on.
Or come
and
on.
he walks out of the room.
Or it's kind of like, this is your problem.
Yeah. What's with her?
Before he leaves.
Yeah, exactly. Rethink your own set of values, you know. This was back in the day when you could do all that stuff.
Yeah, he's basically saying this was not a big deal.
Yeah.
This is an overreaction.
Geez,
saying.
lighten up, huh? God.
Everybody else loves it when I take my dick out. What's your problem?
He looked completely, in a situation he was completely foreign to.
Yeah.
That look on his
rejection.
face.
Yeah, it's like meeting someone who didn't appreciate you getting your dick out is like meeting someone who doesn't like the B-52s. It's like, what? What kind of person are? What kind of people are these?
Giant monster.
Throwing that in there.
He's letting everybody know.
This is his solo album. If he says "say giant" at the end,
you better say it.
Exactly. They're in the They're in the control room recording this. They're like, "Hey, throw giant in there."
He came out with a red pen. I got an idea. Inspiration just struck.
Yeah,
something was missing.
Yeah, he didn't have him say a wart-covered monster. Just said a giant monster.
So
very telling.
I have to just with the video. So B-52s are very camp, I would say.
Yeah.
You could have El Santos in this video. Like, he starred in some of those weird campy movies.
The wrestler?
Yeah.
Oh, El Santo, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's the Something Weird DVD collection or whatever that's under. The video for this looks like something out of the Something Weird
it would work.
collection, which works perfectly for like a Halloween-themed episode because it looks just like something that would fit into that category if that is, in fact, a category.
Something weird.
Yeah, because I mean, have you ever seen what I'm talking about? The El Santo movie.
Yes,
one of them where he's just sitting there and there's like they're at a bar and there's a go-go dancer.
Yeah,
and she's just dancing for like 20 minutes and he's just kind of nodding his head.
Those movies are slow, man.
It's like, what's going to happen? Is anything going to happen? It's very camp, or at least it comes off like the old Batman. I guess is a prime example of that style.
Yeah. Monster! Monster! Oh no, a giant monster!
Shut the window, bolt the door. Don't want to see that muss no more.
Looks like one woman fainted.
They're
and
tending to her.
They're tending to her. Are you okay, honey?
Yeah.
She had to throw a coffee cup at it.
This is like a this is like a like a Pride and Prejudice kind of a thing where the women just get overcome and are fainting.
Oh, is that a fainting couch? I think that might be.
Yeah,
isn't that what that's called?
I think so.
That piece of furniture that's
I've
shaped
never
like
heard that term.
I believe that's what that's called.
Yeah, this is.
I thought it was simply a chaise lounge, but they call that a fainting couch.
Yeah,
never heard that before.
Yep.
Now, that's something I've never seen before. The sock garter over the knee.
Yeah, way up there.
Usually you don't need a garter for a tube sock that goes all the way up to the kneecap. It's usually right around the ankle area, which actually nobody actually needs those anymore. Do they? I mean,
have either of you guys ever? Yeah, have either of you guys ever in your life had sock garters on?
I've never owned a pair.
Yeah, I've never been in the vicinity of a sock garter.
In fact, didn't they have elastic back then? I mean,
I don't. Isn't that the problem? They didn't have.
Well, why not though?
Yeah,
I mean, there's clearly elastic in the garter. Just put it in the fucking sock.
Yeah, and whoever thought of that The first person who thought of that made a fortune. Wait
Exactly.
a minute.
I mean, that simply makes no sense.
That's stupid.
I mean, that's just a head scratcher, if you will. It's like, but I've certainly never seen one up over the knee. That's quite a thing.
Well, that's intentional. That was an outfit.
Yeah.
Not checkered. He had polka dot boxers and garters over the knee. That was the full outfit. So much so that there's an animation of it as well that was next to him.
I thought it was Santa Claus.
Yeah, let's see. Let's go back real quick.
I don't have my glasses on.
Yeah.
Is that Santa Claus?
I don't know what that is.
I think it's a monster. Basically, I think Fred Schneider saying he's a giant wiener. That's
So
all.
he is the wiener.
I guess I don't know, or it's some kind of metaphor. It's taken control of him, maybe.
Shut the window, bolt the door. Don't want to see that monster no more.
There's a monster in my pants, and it does a modern dance when it comes into a room.
I'm sorry, I cut it right before one of the best lines.
Yeah, that's okay.
It does a modern dance.
Yeah. And then he shows us what a modern dance
I
is.
guess so.
Put his arms up.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I cut it off right before the line that my wife and I say at each other.
Uh-oh.
It is
Can't wait to hear this one.
It's probably the line of the song.
Yeah.
There's a monster in my pants, and it does a modern dance when it comes into a room. People hit it with a broom.
Take that monster! Take that monster! Take it! Take it! Take that, you awful thing! Take that! Oh! Take that! Oh! Take it! Take it! Take that, you naughty thing!
All right, I've got to pause.
They call it an awful thing at one point.
Yeah. That's also excellent. Excellent writing.
People, when it comes into the room, people hit it with the broom.
That's phenomenal.
Absolutely hysterical.
Which
First
end of the
time I
broom
heard
do you hit it with? The
Well,
the straw end or the handle end?
I mean, you
guess
don't
it
want to.
depends.
You don't
on-
want to permanently damage it. You just,
I
you
guess
just want to shoo it away.
I guess it depends on the rigidity of it.
All right, so
They're all attacking it with brooms.
brooms, yeah. All right, let's continue.
That, you naughty thing!
They don't wear pants on the other side of France, but they do wear fleece to protect them from the bees.
Monster! Monster!
Does he say protect them from the beast or from the bees?
I thought it was bees, but I don't. It doesn't really make any sense. But
No, but I mean,
does it need to? I don't know.
So he gets all Cleopatra musically there for a little bit.
Yeah, turns to that Egyptian, that common Egyptian rhythm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There are two Egyptian melodies
That's
that
one.
have ever been written. It's that and "Come Out and Play" by The Offspring is the other one.
So they're written thousands of years apart.
That's
apparently.
it. That's all that there have ever been.
Let's go.
Oh, gee, a great big monster!
So the lyrics on the Apple Music thing, which doesn't necessarily mean it's correct, but
Probably not.
it says they do wear fleece, not fleas,
Please.
fleece to
Yeah.
protect them from the beasts.
Okay.
I don't know.
That makes sense. For some reason, I always heard bees,
Well, hold on now.
but
He's wearing, he picked up the rug that was like a lamb skin and was wearing it during that part.
yeah. So he's wearing fleece.
Yeah. So that makes sense. I never didn't put two and two together when I was watching this video repeatedly for the last several days. But there it is.
This is a hard one to get out of your head, and
Yeah.
that's really saying something because there is no melody.
Not really.
There's
It's a dance groove.
it's a dance groove, and I mean he there's really not. I mean, there's musically, yeah, it's musical,
Yeah.
but yeah, vocally he's just kind of,
He's an MC.
he's yeah, Is this what DJ Khaled does?
Well,
I don't know. No, he doesn't do this.
There's a vast disparity in talent level between these two people. But wouldn't it be? I mean, think about Fred Schneider, the career he's made for himself doing this. I mean, who wouldn't envy that? I mean, the fact that he's a known pop music icon for putting out this style of music. I mean, that in and of itself is impressive.
Yeah, it really is.
That he carved out this niche for himself and just did extremely well for himself in an entertainment capacity.
So
that in and of itself is worthy of respect.
Yeah.
I'm looking him up just out of curiosity. I'm looking him up on IMDb as we speak because I would be a little shocked and a little disappointed to find out that he's not a voice actor.
Oh, he should be.
For cartoons, because I don't think, based on what I'm seeing, I don't know that he is. I don't see him listed as an actor, really.
He should be. We saw his acting prowess in this video so far.
That's true. But I mean, as a voice actor, this is... Chris is talking about his career. That's the logical place that his career would go, I would think.
It makes perfect sense.
Unless I'm just not seeing it, I'm a little surprised.
Kind of shocking if he doesn't.
A little
have
shocking.
Do you think he would be on some Cartoon Network show?
Looks like he's done some writing.
Okay.
Looks like he wrote an episode of The Muppets.
Really?
Apparently.
Way back when?
No, like 2015
okay.
it says. But,
interesting.
But yeah, it doesn't... Oh, unless it was for music. That maybe it was... He's
maybe they did B-52.
Yeah, maybe that's all it was. Yeah, pretty surprised to, in a quick search there, not find that's where he's ended up.
Yeah.
Because it would make perfect sense.
We better hurry up and make a cartoon. Get in on this. Another, kind of going back to what Chris said about how Fred Schneider's been able to carve a career for himself out of this. It's interesting, especially in the B-52s, even though this is very similar sounding, but it's like, it's admirable to be like, this is what I do, so I'm going to put this in the songs, and then you do what you do to the other singers, and then together it's a sound. Like it becomes a unique thing. Instead of like, oh, we're all going to sing the same way and take turns. It's a unique recipe for something.
Yeah.
You know, and you stay within your I don't know, boundaries is the right word, but whatever your self-appointed boundaries, I guess. Yeah. Who's to say? Who knows? Fred Schneider might sing like a bird if he feels like it, but you know,
that would be something.
Especially over time, I'm sure he's probably developed. You know, anyone who is a musician for a long time, you develop other skills or whatever it is, but
not necessarily.
Yeah.
Fred Schneider is like the equivalent of AC/DC. It's like, why change the formula?
Right.
This is what I do.
I'm not saying he should on a recording. That's the beauty of it, though. He knows what he does. It's unique. He does it well, and when it's paired with the other people in his band, it's a unique sound, and you instantly know who it is.
That's true. Can't argue that.
There's a monster on the run, and it wants to have some fun. When it flies up in the air, all the people stop and stare. The guys give a yell, and the girls start to shriek when they see its giant claws and its razor-sharp beak.
That middle section, it felt like I could have used the guitar solo.
Yes, it could have.
I'm looking at Nick.
It still could use one.
I think I'm laying down a challenge for Nick.
All right, well, see if I can free up a few minutes here. But yeah,
that would have been a good slot for Ricardo Honez as guitar player. His style would
finger
fit in
plucking
quite well with this one, I think.
That artist is Keith Haring that was drawing those pictures on the board.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. Friend of Fred Schneider, apparently.
Well, the greats tend to gravitate together, don't they?
Yeah.
Gosh, would you look at that thing? And I thought dinosaurs were extinct.
Great ending.
That was a perfect, perfect length of hangover, I guess.
Yeah.
Right as the music ended. Just a fraction of a second past it. Kind of like the busy signal or the off the hook signal from the Cherub song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a perfectly brief amount.
All right, guys. This was my choice. So I will vote first, and I will start with a Sweet Surrender.
It's sweet surrender. Hell yes.
So happy that I remember the song, and also so disappointed that for some reason I forgot about it for a number of years, and then it just came back to me, and I was so happy that it did. Again, typically what we cover on Pot of Thunder is usually more in like the live or the physical playing of instrument, like not drum machine music, not dance music like this. Rock and roll played by live musicians. But this song's great. I mean, it's a slam dunk, especially for this month. We're trying to come up with something that fits the theme of spooky, creepy, weird.
This definitely does.
It fits. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And also, with the way things have been going, I thought maybe we could use a little levity to end it off. So
why not?
So there you go.
No, there's never a bad time for that, I don't think.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. Sweet Surrender.
Woo. It's sweet surrender. Hell yes.
The song's a classic in my opinion. Always like just a fun song.
Yeah.
This is not a fist pumping anthem.
It's not a face melter. You're not going into it for
but as far as a fun, entertaining listen, this song will always do it. Now, I'm gonna make a potentially controversial comparison here. Fred Schneider, kind of like the sort of comedy element to it. There's sort of like a novelty comedy element to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this might make some people upset, but this is me when I was a teenager. Another person who I would have a few songs that I would listen to, and there were things I found funny about it in the same way, was Bob Dylan.
Ah, okay.
Because he had the sort of goofy sounding delivery vocally, and some of the lyrics, like "Rainy Day Woman" was a song that I thought was funny.
Okay,
there were certain lyrics, like I can't think of what song it is, but there's a Bob Dylan song where you never understood that it ain't no good. And that's the lyric, and I remember bursting out laughing the first time I heard it. Now I know people. Yes, I understand. Yes.
Sacrilege.
Yes, I understand that that's what it is for a lot of people. But for some reason, that period of my life where like I would hear a Fred Schneider song and get this sort of like I'm enjoying it, but it's kind of funny to me at the same time. There were Bob Dylan moments that were the same thing to me.
Interesting. Okay,
but this song. Yes, always fun. Perfect choice for a Halloween theme. Congratulations to Andy.
Thank you. Back to what you said, though, it makes sense. I understand that Bob Dylan is more of like way more of like a serious, social, reflecting on society kind of poet or whatever. But he does have a unique delivery, and it's kind of silly and strange. And
it is.
Imitatable, right? I mean, that's
probably a big part of it.
Yeah, that's the parallel, I think. So I get that.
That's something that's really missing in all spheres of entertainment right now.
Yeah, it's
no good. Is having people being imitatable, as Andy said.
Yeah.
in
that's-
an individual way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone who's got a signature trait. A lot of people there's not that much of that right now.
Doesn't seem like it.
It'd be hard to be Weird Al right now.
You mean it'd be hard to come out as Weird Al new,
No,
or just in
well,
general?
no, but
because there's no one to make fun of.
Yeah,
'Cause
well,
it's-
I mean, there is, but everything's so ridiculous, and there's not a whole lot of personality to it anymore.
yeah,
Individualism, kind of a thing.
it's really you're just changing
it's
the
all-
lyrics
it's-
to songs. for
Yeah,
Weird Al.
yeah.
Yeah. Hard times for Weird Al.
He's okay, I think.
Okay. Chris L.
Sweet Surrender for me.
Ooh.
It's sweet surrender. Hell yes.
I'm actually a tad embarrassed to say that going in, I didn't think I'd ever heard this song based on the title, and then obviously when the lyrics kick in, you realize, of course, I've heard this before.
Yeah.
It's it's Fred Schneider. It's great. I'm a big fan of his. Again, huge respect from me from this being your shtick and making not only a career out of it, but becoming a pop music icon because of it.
Every wedding you ever go to, you hear his voice.
Well, yeah, and like I said,
Rightfully so.
the good times I had at high school dances to Rock Lobster or Your Own Private Idaho was another big one. And then toward the second half of my college career, the Cosmic Thing hits were everywhere, and it just kind of enhanced that college vibe. And I had a lot of good times and good memories to Fred Schneider's music. So you can't impugn the guy whatsoever. I wouldn't even want to. I mean, the guy's I would put him almost on national treasure level alongside the likes of David Lee Roth and Paul Stanley.
Wow.
I don't think he's quite there, but he's pretty damn close.
I like that.
Truly an individual guy, imitatable, but you could never carve out a career doing what he did. He's the only one who could,
Yep.
Yeah, that's about
who
it.
could pull this off. And to say it again, that in and of itself is worthy of unconditional respect.
Yeah.
Whether or not you think the music is too soft, too gay, whatever your issue is with the music, respect is due to this man for how he created his place in the entertainment world.
Now you're talking about him being. I mean, he absolutely is a one of a kind. But when you mentioned that, I was thinking there's like a super old singer, and I just looked it up to find his name. Similar, I think, more melodic, but a similar sort of delivery. And I'll just throw the name out there if anybody wants to listen to it and see if I'm on the ball at all. Ted Lewis was his name. Born in 1890.
Ted Lewis.
Never heard of
Ted
him.
Lewis, and he kind of had a unique sort of way that he would talk during the songs at points. So anybody who cares to, let me know if I'm at all close on this one. But that's the only other guy I could think of who has that sort of.
What
Unless
kind
you're a
of,
rapper, because rappers a lot of times you don't need melody, except for like in a chorus for a hook.
yeah.
So rappers are kind of there's a relation there, but I don't know.
But what kind of music did Ted Lewis
it was
sing?
old, whatever.
Like what year?
Like in the
Did they even have-
20s,
I was
30s.
going to say, did they even have recording equipment? Like
Yeah,
that?
yeah. They
Okay. I didn't know if he was like an older guy in the 50s or whatever. Okay. So
yeah. He
like
just
20s,
kind of
30s.
had a unique way that he would talk certain parts.
Okay.
So just
Ted Lewis.
just throwing that out there,
Right?
Yeah.
Ted Lewis. We're going to look him up. Not Al Lewis. Lewis.
Also a one of a kind.
Which, I know I said this to you guys personally, but unbelievable that Al Lewis was 41 during the first season of the Munsters.
Yeah.
41. Grandpa Munster, 41.
So about the same age as me during the pilot, probably.
Yeah, right. Insane. Looked old as hell.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was just makeup.
Probably why he was cast in the role.
And if you ever, I don't know if you ever saw him in his later years. He looked about 400 years old.
He was born as a 30-year-old man, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then got older and older. Exponentially older Al Lewis.
Yeah.
All right, well, who would have thought? Guess who? I would have thought.
All right, Hammond! I got a question for you.
Paul Stanley needs to know. He's got to know if Monster is a rock and roll boner classic.
Now, you know how Kiss was susceptible at times to what was happening in the mainstream music world?
Sure.
Do you think they ever came close to we need a Fred Schneider-esque kind of a vibe? And just a section of this song needs to. We need to have something going like that.
I feel like Ace would have pulled it off if anybody.
Ace, yeah,
he would have been the closest.
That's a good point.
Like Ace Dynasty era, even though that would have been too early.
Well,
the
you know
timing
what?
didn't match right.
Dark Light. He kind of does a Fred Schneider.
There you go.
You know,
on the Elder. There you
the
go.
Malevolent Trio. Like he kind of speaks it and does a little voice acting there.
Mm-hmm.
Good point. All right, so
there you go.
So they did it.
They did it.
Okay, we
It
proved
was Ace.
it happened.
Like Ace, you're not a strong singer. Listen to this. All right. So we're thinking. We're voting. You guys do early voting?
I did. I voted yesterday.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Was there a long line? You always hear about the lines.
I mean, it's longer because of the social distancing, but I was in and out of there within a half hour. I went at like 1 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Is it like an admissions test where whenever you go, there are retirees in front of you? No matter what day you get there, no matter how early you get there.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Group of retirees are ahead of you automatically.
Pretty
Always.
much.
Always. All right. Are your votes in, guys?
Mine's in.
Yeah, mine's in.
Nick's is in. Andy's is in. Let's go Andy, Nick, Chris. Which is riding the eagle backwards. It's been a while since we've done that.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
I don't know that anybody's ridden the eagle in months.
I don't think so. You mean the literal one?
Yeah, not talking about a Fred Schneider slang term with its razor-sharp beak.
All right.
I shudder to think what that might mean.
It's back to what Chris was talking about. Uncircumcised penis.
Great.
All right. Rock.
Roll.
No boner.
We don't have that clip.
Sorry.
We're not ready for that. We don't have, I'm not prepared
You got to
for
be
this.
ready for anything.
I'm not prepared for this.
Fred Schneider would have enjoyed the Pierre sound, I think.
Exactly. And to speak to your point earlier, there's probably a reason this didn't make the cut on a B-52's album. It's just not of that quality, in my opinion. Good song, fun song, party song, just not worthy of the Pete Weber outburst, which is also very Fred Schneider-esque if you think about it.
It could, yeah.
Or even Ted Lewis-esque. So, having just said that, now I kind of wish I'd voted it up, but like I said, just not on the A-League quality, in my opinion.
Well, if you disagree, we're sorry.
That's just the fucking way it is.
Deal with it. Oh, hey, Nick.
Yeah.
You want to do a commercial?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I do. Do I have to read it?
No, we'll just play it.
Okay, good.
Was that a good one?
No.
You didn't like that one?
I didn't like the commercial.
It was bad?
And the guy who did the voiceover, though, I know him.
You know him?
Good dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good dude. Bad commercial?
Yeah, just this is not his best work. Kind of like how Chris was saying it didn't make the cut on a B-52's album. This commercial's not going in his demo reel. Sorry.
Okay.
I hope he's not upset that I said that.
Good product, though? Or?
Who cares about that? When you've got this guy, it's going to fly off the shelves, whether it's good or bad.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, guess what time it is, guys?
Sing away.
Yes, Chief.
You know, I forgot who it was, but at one point, I remember one of our listeners, he mentioned something about how after the song, we do sports talk. I'm like, no, we don't. Like, has he not made it out past 5 seconds of this without realizing that it's not a sports segment?
He's so against.
Or he just heard it on one episode and just assumed we do it on every episode.
Like we talked about Mr. Baseball for a minute, or said something about the World Series. And then,
well, there you go, yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah. Well,
it's just interesting that...
See how facts get distorted, how easily that happens?
Yeah.
I think as of this recording, we could talk vaguely about sports because I don't remember the details, but there was a guy who went to school in Hammond who had made some kind of big play or something or other in the World Series game today.
Who?
I don't remember.
I saw that.
The guy who went to Andrean.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw a headline about that.
And he's from Hammond?
Well, I don't know, but he went to Andrean.
Oh.
Yeah, he's on the Rays. I can't think of his name.
Somewhere around here.
The bozo if he went to Andrean.
Our rivals?
Yeah. That was our school rival.
Sorta.
I don't think we cared, but it was the opposing Catholic school in the area.
That's true.
So, let's see. Okay. So many yards here. Trying to get something good here.
Are there a lot of yards still?
There's still a lot, yeah.
Most of them suck, though, I'm assuming, by your inability to select one?
They're all good. I'm just trying to see what feels right for today.
Okay.
You know, last week we talked about whose yard we were going to choose. And
yes.
We left Rob Paskey's on the table.
That's true. I do remember that.
We'll pick it up today. This week's Yard of Questions comes to us from Rob Paskey. He says, "What's up, guys?
What's up, Rob?
Are you ready to bring the pain into the yardo? Oh, yeah."
Yes.
Paskey is a Fred Schneider-esque character.
He is.
A unique individual.
Mm-hmm. Imitatable.
Overflowing with energy.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a unique guy.
Mm-hmm. I figured I would stop through and drop some un-Rob questions that I think is appropriate.
Un-Rob?
Un-Rob.
Wow, this is the equivalent of a Rob Paskey solo album outside of his main band.
Yep.
Similar but different.
He says, enjoy. With the recent passing of Eddie Van Halen, these questions will be guitar-related. Question 1. What has been the highlight of your career as a guitarist? Interesting. Now that could mean so many things. That's open to interpretation from you guys.
Yeah. For me, just some of the iconic stages I've had the pleasure of playing on. Metro in Chicago, New Daisy Theater in Memphis, CBGB, New York City. Festival gigs here in town at Taste of Chicago, Halstead Market Days. You know, the bigger shows I was fortunate enough to play would be the highlights that come to mind first.
Did you ever get nervous when you were in your band? Like, depending on what the show was?
Well, yeah, of course. I think so.
Yeah.
Depending on, like you said, depending on the show. Never not confident, really, but occasionally when you realize what you're stepping into, it can. I mean, I think it's normal to feel a little bit of nervousness, but nothing that it wasn't any kind of paralyzing stage fright or anything like that. It was just more nervous anticipation. So,
Nicholas?
I don't know. I was trying to think if there were any particular shows or anything. I mean, because they were all small. We never played really a big show.
Can I
anywhere.
say my highlight of your guitar career?
Sure.
Wheeling your rig off stage mid-set
There you go.
at the Cock Room.
Yep.
It doesn't get any better
That's,
than that. You want to talk about punk rock? You know how people say, that's so punk rock. That could be the most punk rock thing I've ever seen in a live show.
That could be.
Well, spent some time disassembling his rig. It was a head cabinet combo, half stack, I believe.
I think I put the guitar in the case, too.
He did. He cased up the guitar, removed the speaker cables from the back.
Took the strap off and folded it up, put it in the little compartment.
Coiling up cables as the performance was going on, and then wheeled the whole rig off stage. All this happened during the set.
Yeah.
So glad I was there for that.
Nick moved the little picture of Sinbad and his guitar case out of the way.
Which is still there.
Which is still there. 20 plus years
Still there,
it's been in there.
Amazing thing to witness.
Yeah. All right. Are you going to go with that one?
That's better than anything I could think of.
Okay. Question 2. What 3 qualities make a great guitarist?
I think songwriting ability is number 1 for me. Maybe not just somebody who is a technician, but somebody who's a composer as well. That's a big one, to have that sensibility. Then of course there's. Well, I guess it kind of fits. I was going to say taste, but that fits in with like a composition ability.
Well,
like having the ear to kind of edit.
I think I was
what you're doing.
I was thinking of that one too, being someone who listens, someone who's a collaborator. In fact, that's made my list. But go on. We can have overlapping qualities. I think,
and I guess there's also, for a great guitarist, the visual's important. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Where he. Rob, in his questions, mentioned Eddie Van Halen, and I've seen several posts since he's passed, and I completely agree that he had a certain charisma with just that smile that he was always wearing as he was playing. So there's something to that too. Like there's a personality, a stage presence, kind of that's important for a great.
No question.
I mean, that's. You don't need that to be a great studio musician, but we're talking like, I guess, more of a star quality.
I would say so.
Yeah, like a rock star, great legendary guitarist. Yeah, I think that's important.
Well, it's like Jack Black says in School of Rock, you're the lead guitarist, we're counting on you for some style.
Yeah.
You gotta have that. You gotta have. And along those lines, that would be I suppose that would qualify for one of my characteristics. Gotta have swagger, meaning you gotta have that confidence, that cool factor. That's a must.
Yeah.
Sound, you have to have a good tone, a good commanding sound, and then the one overlapping with Nick's, you got to be a good collaborator, team player. Not that Yngwie's not a great guitarist, because he's clearly a master musician, but I guess maybe early days with Alcatraz he was more of a band member, but for the solo career, who knows what anybody else in the band is doing other than like providing support there.
Yeah.
There's no give and take there. It's all him.
And it seemed like during the Joe Lynn Turner brief era, there was a...
when you have JLT in the band, there's going to be some give and take.
Yeah.
But that was a brief glimpse of that in his career.
Yeah.
But, like, for example, the first David Lee Roth band album, Eat 'Em and Smile, obviously. My favorite Steve Vai stuff, because he was part of a unit, which was an incredible unit. Every player just completely off the chart from a technical standpoint, but they all worked together as a unit, and also had a strong front man to deal with, and so for me that's a big one. The camaraderie, the collaboration, the interplay that really makes somebody a musician.
So you don't care how many necks are on the guitar?
I do not. No.
And which directions those necks
right
face?
You know, if I had the 3-neck heart guitar and stuff, you know, there's gimmickry there. I get it, but when it comes right down to it, you just put that album on and listen to it. It's just incredible musicianship all around, and an amazing collaboration.
All right, question 3: who is your Mount Rushmore of guitar heroes? Have a great night, guys, and always remember to #bring the pain. Thank you, Rob.
Always.
Branding.
I think he's up for like the best podcast in his city, wherever he's based
Erie,
out of.
PA.
That's it. Yeah.
Yep.
So
he deserves it.
Yeah, I wonder how long that voting's going.
And if he comes in second, woe to whoever is in first.
Yeah, somebody's going to be flung through a window. It's not going to end well for that individual.
So Mount Rushmore 4.
I had to think about that too. How many faces is it?
It's 4. I know Nick is the obvious first one. Come on.
Yeah.
Say it.
Well, Randy Rhoads is, obviously
Bing.
that's up there.
Okay.
This is a tough question. It's a very tough question.
It is, it is if you overthink it. I mean, Dean DeLeo's
I was
gotta
just
be
going to
there.
say that he probably is on there for me.
Well, not probably. You're a STP worshiper. How could he not be on there? He's one of the great guitarists of all time.
And like I was talking about before,
underrated.
As far as composition goes,
Well,
he's a master of that. So
yeah,
he'd be another one for me.
Vastly underrated.
Ooh, that's tough, man.
Oh, you got 2.
Yeah. In the, I'd have to. I know that there's the argument of who was the best Kiss guitar player. A lot of people say Bruce. Mm-hmm. For me, you give me like Ace from the Alive 2 era. I would put him on there.
Okay.
I know that's kind of an obvious one for guys who did a Kiss podcast.
Yeah, but
for years.
they were he inspired an entire generation of guitarists.
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching the Hype documentary about the Seattle scene, and they were talking about bands like the Melvins doing Kiss covers. Everybody. Maybe not everybody, but a lot of fucking people from different musical styles grokked Ace Frehley and Kiss. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
Whew, it's hard to come up with that fourth one, though. I'm trying to think. I mean, they're all... If I had more time, I would probably try to come up with someone who's not a straight, like, hard rock musician. Mm-hmm. But those are the ones that come to mind quicker.
Yeah.
Which, that's important for an audio volume like this.
Sure.
Who would be my number 4? Andy, who would be my number 4?
Who?
I can't think. Maybe I'll pass it over to Chris to get his list started so I can think of a number 4.
All right. Let's see. Well, I'm also putting Ace on there. I mean, in terms of how it inspired me and some of the elements of his playing that ended up in mine, absolutely no question. Eddie Van Halen, same deal. No question about it. As I said in that piece I put out, that I knew very, very quickly that I would never play like him or get to that level. But it's like that inspiration to just become somebody even approaching like him was something that kept me going for a while. The other two are going to be got to be Neil Schon. Remember watching that Soundstage appearance where right after the Infinity album came out, and they did a live set in the studio in Chicago. Brought Albert King and Paul Butterfield up, I believe, for a blues set. It's on YouTube, you can see it. But I remember seeing that on public television, Channel 56 in Detroit, and just being blown. He had the huge afro and the Fu Manchu mustache and the bell bottoms and just ripping lead guitar, and I just remember being totally awestruck by that. And I just got into the Journey stuff and the HSAS stuff and the solo albums he did with Jan Hammer, and just always loved his playing and aspired to play like that. And then the fourth one is going to have to be Vernon Reid.
Really?
I'm telling you, that first Living Color album changed my whole outlook on music and guitar playing, and just can't really put into words what an impact that album made on me. So that's my 4.
Okay. I'm surprised that you didn't say Brian Robertson. I thought that would be your number 1.
I don't know how I forgot that, but I do cite him as my all-time favorite guitar player, so
Yeah.
I guess he has to be up there. I guess he would bump. I guess he'd have to bump Vernon for that, which is a shame. But yeah, I don't know how that slipped my mind. It's kind of weird that it did, but you want to talk about having those 3 qualities in spades that we mentioned earlier. Absolutely him. Relatively small body of work, but yeah, amazing stuff. Thanks for the reminder there.
No problem.
Kind of blew that, but yeah, I cite him as my all-time favorite rock guitarist, and I stand by that.
You come up with your 4, Nick?
I don't know. I was batting around a couple of different ones. I mean, I don't know who would get the spot, but I mean, like Brian May would definitely.
That's
be
what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna just so that we're not wasting time here.
Brian May.
Yeah. I mean, because he's got all those qualities from it links together with that first question. So.
Yeah. Yes, sir. All right. Well, thank you to Rob Paskey for your Yardo questions. If you want to send Yardo questions, go to potofthunder.com and make that happen. Not 1, not 2, but 3 questions. Add some songs to the listener submission list. If you want to buy something, you could do that there too. Whatever you want. We got it all at potofthunder.com. Crank up the volume and yank off the knob. And, barring any kind of, creative thought by one of us, we might be back on the listener submission list next week. I don't know. So, now that this month of October's done,
yeah,
we should be back to the list. So.
Already the last episode of the month, huh?
Yeah. So I didn't even look at the list. I'm pretty sure nobody submitted this one, but I'll check just in case. But again, establishing this new rule, if we choose your song, we will reach out to you for your home address and send you an exclusive prize. 5 have gone out so far, and I can't believe nobody's posted what it is yet.
No, they're all using the utmost discretion, it seems.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's what you want. Is it?
I think you can post it if you got it.
All right, well, who wants to be first? I guess.
Smoke them if you got them. Let's see them.
I'm checking right now to see if anybody. If one person did suggest this song, I bet I know who it is. I'm looking at it right now to see if that did happen, and if it is that person, we can drive it over to his house.
Oh.
Let's see here. Where's Fred?
It's under F.
Thank you.
Is it alphabetized by first name?
It has to be re-alphabetized because there have been a lot of additions.
No,
yes.
I don't see it on here.
All right. Well,
unless, like Andy was saying, it's near the back where it's not alphabetized.
Well, there you have it. Thank you for listening. We will be back next week. More Pot of Thunder.
And I think I'm going
Still my ringtone.
Is it?
Yeah.
For everybody?
Yeah, I think so. Try calling me.
Call them up.
Hold on, let me make sure the sound is on.
Let's try.
Yeah, I had to call the other
Work call, it doesn't matter.
Here it comes.